Okay, we're on Gittin, Perik Aleph, Mishnah Vav. Sixth Mishnah, last Mishnah, the first chapter of Masechet Gittin. Okay, in order to understand this Mishnah, we have to understand an important principle. Okay, when a person says, let's just read the beginning of the Mishnah. Omer, a person says to his agent, so a person says to his friend, Tain get ze li ishti, ushtarch shichur ze abdi. Give this get, my wife, you're traveling, he lives in, I don't know, Cleveland, and his wife lives in Washington, D.C. So he wants to send a bill of divorce to his wife. So how do you do that? You do that through a shaliach, an agent, a messenger. Same thing for shtar shichur for his evet. So they write the get in Cleveland, and he does it lishma, and the rabbi sign it, etc., etc. And he says to the agent, this is hard to say, Tain get zeli ishti, ushtar shichur la'avdi. Give this get to my wife, and l'shtar shichur to my evet, to my slave. So when you say give it, you become what's called the shliach laholacha. He's my agent. He becomes my agent in order laholacha, to take it, to bring it. Okay? He's not the agent of the wife to accept it. Meaning, when I have this get and I give it to my agent, I give it to him. It's not as if I gave it to my wife already. I just gave it to him, and it's considered as if halachically it's still in my possession until he gives it to the eved or the wife. So the question is like this: I give it to this guy, and then he's on the way from Cleveland to Washington, and I changed my mind. What can you do? I say, I changed my mind. I am now annulling your shlichut. I don't want you to give it to him. Says the Mishnah, Im ratza lachzor b'shnehem yachzor, divrei Rabbi Meir. Whether it's a get for a woman or it's a shtar shichur, Rabbi Meir says, I can change my mind and I can annul I can change my mind and I can annul the agency. So says Rabbi Meir. Okay, which seems to make sense because I made him into a shtar holacha. What would happen though? After I made him a shtar holacha, I gave him this thing and I say, I'm going to take it to my wife. He says, you know what? I am on my own volition. I know this woman. This guy's a jerk. He's going to change his mind. So what I'm going to do is I will now accept it on her behalf. So like, for example, if someone says, here, give her $100. I want you to be the agent to accept this $100 for her. He can accept the $100 and then it becomes the woman's. She could take him to court. Give me the $100. He gave it to you. You accepted it for me. So therefore, a person can make themselves the agent to receive something on behalf of somebody else, only in certain conditions. So now the question is, can he accept this get? Well, let's just stick with the get for a minute. On behalf of the woman, can the guy himself decide, you know what? I'm going to accept the get on behalf of the woman, or the shtar shichur on behalf of this eved, on my own volition, and therefore, when the Baal says, when the jerk Baal says, I want to change my mind, too late, he already accepted it for the woman, she's divorced. Mishnah says, no, he can't. Why? Im ratza lachzor b'shneihem yachzor. Divrei Rabbi Meir. We'll read the both positions and I'll explain. Chachamim say, no, begitei nashim, that you're right when it comes to bills of divorce. Avalo b'shichurei avadim. But for the shichurei avadim, the owner, the Baal, can't change his mind. Meaning, once he gives it to the agent, it's as if he already gave it to the slave. Why? The fish is zachin la'adam shelo b'fanav, ve'en chavin lo ela b'fanav. Zachin la'adam shelo b'fanav. I mean, I can do something meritorious, a zechut, for a person, shelo b'fanav, not before him, i.e. even without his knowledge. I find $100. I say, I'll find this $100 in honor of, in the name of Ruvain Swelter. Great. It's my $100 now. But let's say he says, chavin, I am now taking out this loan of $100,000 in the name of Ruvain Swelter. What? No. Ein chavin lo ela b'fanav. So the question is, how do we look at this get and the shtar shichur? I made you a little chart, as you can see. Can you, the shliach, accept the get in the name of? Okay, let's just add in a little color. Okay, can the shliach accept this or not? Rabbi Meir says. So I turned it around. Can the shliach accept the get in the name of Rabbi Meir says no. Get nashim? No. Why? Because as soon as she becomes divorced, she loses her mizonot. The husband no longer has to pay for her sustenance. So therefore, until it comes to her hands, it's a benefit for her because he still has to pay her food and sustenance. Same thing for the shichurei avadim. No, she loses her sustenance. The husband has to, the owner has to feed his slave. So therefore, Meir says, the agent is only a shliach laholacha and not lekabbalah, and Ein chavin la'adam ela b'fanav. So therefore, when he gives it to him, okay, it's b'fanav, now he knows. But until that time, he cannot accept it on his behalf. The Chachamim say, no, yes, for Gittin Hashem, I agree, she loses her sustenance. But for Shichrei Avadim, yes, he can receive the get on his behalf. Because, how can he, why Shichrei Avadim? Why? She'im yirtzeh. The Mishnah explains. Okay? She'im yirtzeh shelo lazun et avdo. Chachamim say, if a person decides, I don't want to feed my slave, Rasha, he can say that. The Gemara says, he can say to him, you know what? Go feed yourself from tzedakah. Not my problem. That's really a terrible thing, but halachically you can do this. So therefore, since the Chachamim say, according to the Chachamim, the husband, the owner of the slave doesn't have to feed him anyway, so it's a zchut for him to be freed. Of course the guy would want to be free. So therefore, when the shliach receives the get, he can therefore accept it on behalf of the eved, because of zachin la'adam shelo b'fanav. It's a zchut for him. And therefore, when he says, Tein shichur zeh la'avdi, if he wants to change his mind, he can't, because as soon as he gives it to the shliach, it's already his. I know I turned it around, it's a little backwards. I hope it's clear, not too complicated. Okay. Shelo lazun et ishto, eino rashai. But if the husband doesn't want to feed his wife, he can't do that. And therefore, the get is a chov. And therefore, when he gives it to the agent cannot accept it on her behalf because it's a chov for her. And it only takes effect when he actually gives it to the wife herself. And for that reason, as long as it's in the hands of the agent, according to the Chachamim, okay, im ratza lachzor, yachzor. Only for gitei nashim. Im ratza lachzor, yachzor. Amar lahem, v'harehu posel et. Amar lahem. Okay, so Rameir said the Chachamim. 1 second. V'harehu posel et avdo min ha'truma. Kishem shu posel et ishto. So 1 second, let's go back to our case. The Chachamim said here, in Shichrei Avadim, it's not a chov, it's a zchut, because he doesn't have to pay for his sustenance anyway. So Rameir says, well, why is it a zchut? In this case, what happens if the owner is a kohen? That means the slave can eat truma. And so now, if the eved accepts the get, the shichur on behalf of if the agent accepts it on behalf of the eved, it's complicated. Then no, the eved can no longer eat truma. So kishem shu posel et ishto. So just like it's a chov for the wife, it should be a chov for the eved. And just like the agent can't accept it for the wife, can't be accepted for the eved. And therefore, like I said, okay, the Baal can change his mind. He can back out as long as it's in the agent's hands. So why did you say not for eved? Amrullah said no. No. The only reason, it's not a benefit for the eved. Yes, he does benefit, but it's not considered a tangible benefit. This is what the Bar Tudover says. It's not a tangible benefit. The only reason he can eat truma is because he's the possession of the Kohen. But the Gemara explains, or Kahati also explains, and therefore, if the Kohen sold him to a Yisrael, then he would still be an Eved, and he couldn't eat truma. So the fact that he happens to belong to a Kohen isn't considered a benefit. So therefore, even if the Kohen gives it to the agent can accept it on behalf of the Eved and free him. And it's not considered a chov, it's considered a schut. Final case, Omer to get zeli ishti. A guy gives it to the agent. And the agent's about taking it along, and the guy dies in interim. Lo yidnu lachar mita. You shouldn't give it after mita. Why? Divrei shchibe, 1 second. Lo yidnu lachar mita, gita lo have adamat eliyada. As we said, she's not divorced until it comes to her hand. Okay? But by that time, he's dead. Ain't get lachar mita. So you can't give a get on behalf of a dead guy. But if he says to his agent, the guy is dying, and he says, give $100,000 to Reves Welter. And then the guy dies before they give it, yitnu lachar mita. Even though he's dead, you still should give the money. Why? He's called the shchimera. Shchimera is a person who's on his deathbed. And the halacha is, divrei shchimera kiktuvin ukimisurin dam. They have special status that is considered like he made a shtar. We honor the words of a dying man, and they should give the money even if he's already dead. We'll stop here. Pretty complicated mission. I hope I explained it well. If you have questions, feel free to email me at rspolter@gmail.com. We'll dedicate our learning to memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Have a good day.